guys, welcome back to the Hot Tea channel where we spill tea left, right, and everywhere in between. In today's video, we are giving you a brief catch-up on the Depp/Heard trial and some repercussions that are already happening for Amber, as well as Trisha Paytas inserting herself with her opinion again, of course, as well as some news on the A$AP Rocky Island boys and Bryce Hall, and also some fresh Tana tea. But before we get into all of that, don't forget to like and subscribe to the Hot Tea channel and hit the notification bell so you stay up to date with all of the hot tea and hot tea history videos. You can also hit us up on Twitter with any topic suggestions too if you feel so obligated. There is quite a bit to get into and we don't want to keep you waiting any longer, so get comfy and let's spill some tea. Tana Mongeau has finally posted a new YouTube video after leaving us all hanging for what feels like 15 years. The last time that we covered a Tana video was literally around Christmas time when that spider thing happened. But this week, I'm not sure what we did to deserve it, but Tana has graciously gave us a new video titled How to Cake Your Face Like a Pro 6 years later.
Get ready with me / updated makeup routine / semi how to cake your face like a pro.
Tana takes us into her world for a little while as she gets ready for a birthday party and plugs her sponsor, and as much as I surprise myself to say this, Tana, I missed you.
I haven't smoked weed actually for almost like 4 months now. And when I say I haven't smoked weed, I don't mean like I literally haven't smoked weed. I smoked a blunt last night. It's an awful explanation.
So she quit smoking weed and has taken up smoking a puff instead, but she hasn't really quit smoking weed, so I don't know. She says that she got to the point where she wasn't even really feeling any of the effects from weed and actually feels like she was likely addicted to the tobacco in the backwoods that she would smoke.
And then I woke up one day and I started getting high and I just like started feeling weird, like super paranoid, super anxious, like almost sick, like headache vibes.
So now, instead of dealing with those weird and uncomfortable feelings, she just smokes on occasion instead of every single day. And she has been doing that for about 4 months now.
But it's a really good thing. Other than picking up the puff habit, it's been good. Also, this is a get ready with me and I don't think anyone asked any of this. I just felt like I would update you while I frantically search for my puff like a ravenous little raccoon.
But getting on with the get ready with me, Tana tans and shows off her incredible bruises. We love an iron deficient queen.
Sweating, screaming, crying, throwing up.
Get ready with me videos are either your thing or they're not your thing, and I think they hit better obviously when you are a fan of the creator doing them. I'll save you all the gory details of Tana's process of getting ready, and to be honest, let's be real, it's not like you need to take note of those tips anyway.
I almost go on my cheekbones a little bit so that it makes them look higher.
But it's nice to see Tana back and posting videos, but I'm not going to get my hopes up for any form of consistent posting on her channel, as likely this was just because she had to put something out for her sponsor. But some subtle shade coming from Tana, and I can only speculate as to who she might have been talking about when she said this.
And I just take the beauty blender and like pat in the powder. I learned this from someone who is now dead to me.
Let's put our heads together. Who is dead to Tana, but relevant in makeup? Oh, duh, probably James Charles, huh? I really thought that was going to take me a minute to figure out.
That's a funny ass scandal. That'd be a funny YouTube video, like going back on scandals past.
I'm absolutely here for Tana doing a past scandal deep dive.
How amazing! And they're like sold out everywhere.
Forever serving chaotic train wreck, Tana doesn't disappoint with these uploads simply because it is always exactly what you expect. Life hack kids, you won't be let down if you don't get your hopes up. Jokes aside, I did enjoy seeing some fresh Tana content today, and I actually wasn't expecting it, so not a bad way to spend 28 minutes. I wouldn't say that it's a makeup tutorial you'll learn very much from, but whatever. Moving on to another blonde YouTuber that some hate to love and most love to hate, and that's Trisha Paytas. Of course, it's Trisha Paytas today. Of course, she has said something else.
Hey guys.
Trisha uploaded again to her main channel yesterday, and it's my absolute favorite type of Trisha content, a car mukbang featuring fried chicken and Moses.
Medium fry work for you?
Yes.
And for the drink?
Can I just get like ice water in the cup?
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, thanks.
A healthy queen, also an editing queen, seeing as how the first part of the video was literally Trisha checking herself out constantly while they order food at the Chick-fil-A window. Like, just cut that out. Like, what the fuck? Trisha seems like she is in a whole mood throughout this video, and I would contribute that to possibly being pregnancy hormones, which it very well could be, but I just feel in my soul that it isn't, and it's just Trisha being Trisha. She does decide that it would be a good idea to include more of her opinion on the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp situation because it went so well the last time.
That's what my Amber Heard case was like. I'm not like defending her. I'm just saying I can, obviously, when I hear that, the way she is with him, I get it because I used to be like that. Like, you don't want someone to leave. You want to fight and you want to keep him there. Like,
Trisha says that while she does not condone the behavior because she's been there and she understands it, Trisha reckons that the abuse comes from a place of not wanting to be abandoned.
it comes out of a place of like love, kind of. So when they were saying that she has anxious attachment avoid style and he was the one that like goes away when like a problem happens, it's the worst when you're someone that doesn't want someone to leave. So I understand it.
I mean, I kind of hate to say this, but saying the words "it comes from a place of love" when you're talking about the behaviors of an abuser is literally the language of an abuser. That place of love that she's referring to is not love for the victim, but rather love for yourself or ownership or possession of that victim. If you are hitting someone or screaming at someone and you say that it's because you love them and want them to stay, you literally only love yourself, because if you truly cared about the other person, you would respect their need to leave and walk away from the situation. At no time is any form of physical or verbal violence something that can be excused, especially when you're saying that it's because you are uncomfortable with the situation, i.e. the person trying to leave. I believe fully that Trisha can understand these behaviors because we've seen time and time again how she handles situations when someone else is uncomfortable or is feeling violated by her actions. I won't drag all of that up now, and of course, there are wrongdoings on both sides of most of these situations, but Trisha's go-to is to indulge in these narcissistic and manipulative behaviors and then paint herself as a victim. Okay, sorry, anyway, carrying on. Moses throws his 2 cents into the conversation.
I can see how he has probably a big ego.
He goes on to say that sometimes when people say that they wanted to not talk about something, it's because that conversation is triggering. Moses reckons that some people don't understand this. Bear with me here. He says that if someone said to him, "I no longer want to talk about this," it could be taken as an attack to the ego and a way to control him, which is a misunderstanding. While I might kind of see what he's saying here, it also is a little contradictory in the case of the Johnny and Amber thing, because literally Amber fought and screamed and yelled and did all sorts of things when Johnny tried to walk away from a situation.
It's more about the other side not being self-centered or fear, like fear of being controlled or fear.
Whether I literally am missing the point of what the fuck Moses is trying to say or not, I'm not really sure why Johnny's ego is even being brought up in this way, because it was actually his preference to walk away from the fights and the altercations, which would prove Moses's point, but from the other side, being that it would be Amber's ego that is bruised when the situation is being diffused. Like, right? If you guys watched this trash and picked up this conversation differently than I did, let's discuss in the comments, because in my opinion, they're trying to find a defense or something for Amber when it's not even really there. I say yet because the case is still going on, but the defense that they're putting together, or rather the understanding, it just isn't making sense to me. Trisha also sort of defends cheaters during this little mukbang nightmare.
They're just those people. People who cheat, like, are just people who will cheat. And I feel like sometimes they can't like help it. And again, not that I'm defending cheaters, but like I can like sympathize with them, and I understand why people cheat, because they like can't help themselves. Like the way I can't help myself sometimes with like food, or the way I'd have episodes. You don't want it to happen, but you just can't control yourself.
I don't think that's what are the words I'm looking for here. Okay, trying to not completely rip apart Trisha today. So maybe I can understand how this might be an interesting talking point if you think about people maybe with sex addictions who are unable to control themselves. But the average cheater, I do not think is comparable to a situation to what she claims to be is a serious mental disorder that she deals with. Comparing her mental illness with a guy that can't keep his dick in his pants, I just don't see the correlation there. But of course, there are margins where there there are people who truly cannot control themselves. But against that, if you are someone who cannot control themselves in a relationship and you cannot physically stay faithful, don't get in a relationship. I don't know, is that bad to say? Or maybe get into an open relationship? Monogamy isn't for everyone, and it doesn't really have to be. You could have an open relationship and like not cheat. Cheating is the betrayal, not the physical act itself. Does that make sense? If you fully go out knowing you're in a closed relationship and have someone waiting for you at home and you engage in acts that betray that person, that's on you and no one else but you. The quote episodes that Trisha is referring to, I am of the understanding that she cannot control those, and it's more to do with a chemical imbalance, supposedly. Different sports, not even the same field. But while we are on the topic of Amber and Johnny real quick, a brief update for you on what has been going on with that trial. Amber is already seeing some effects from this very public case, with a petition going out to get her removed from Aquaman 2. This petition went live this week on change.org and has thus far collected over 2 million signatures in an attempt to get Amber Heard removed from the role of Princess Mara in Aquaman 2. When Amber alleged that Johnny had domestically abused her, he was actually removed from the 5th installment of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies and his role of Captain Jack Sparrow. So it seems that the public has decided that this punishment, for lack of better words, is fitting for Miss Heard as the evidence of possible abuse at her hands come to light during this trial. Other news on this trial comes in the form of some money, honey. We talked very briefly about the donation money from Amber and Johnny's divorce back in our first coverage of the trial, but this week it has all been pulled apart and talked about during the trial. Back in 2016, when the couple got their divorce, Amber pledged to donate the $7 million from that divorce settlement into charity. She announced that it would be split between the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles and ACLU. The pledge was for her to pay this money in settlements over 10 years. A spokesperson for ACLU said that they have received 4 payments from Amber so far, that they have totaled a minuscule $1.3 million. So some quick math, 2016 was 6 years ago. 1.3 million in 4 payments works out to be around $325,000 each payment. There is still 5.7 million left to go. Math has never been my strong suit, but that's what I have for you. That spokesperson also said that 2019 was that last time that they received any payment from Amber. So strike my math skills, you guys, because I actually learned that after I did all of those amazing and impressive equations and I refused to take them out just because the numbers have changed, they now mean nothing, but they mean something to me and they're sentimental. It is the end of the week, so likely we won't be hearing about any more legality until Monday, but since we are all having a great time and learning so much in the ways of the courtroom etiquette, we do have some new news on the Blac Chyna and Kardashian trial that is going on. Isn't it crazy that these two super high profile cases are happening at the same time? Blac Chyna put in a request to do a redo for her questioning on the stand, and Chyna's lawyers say that she was triggered by the nudes that she was presented by the Kardashians' lawyer. This is basically why the request for the redo was submitted. I don't know much about the law, but I really didn't know that that was a thing. Like, hey, I didn't like that one. Can we do another take? I do understand how the presentation of those nudes could be triggering though, and I don't want to belittle that situation regardless of any of our opinions on Blac Chyna and that whole situation. Revenge P is gross and not cool, and it really sucks that she had to go through that. The judge denied this redo application though, and said that she had plenty of time to do her thing on the stand, accumulating like 11 hours total up there. Blac Chyna's lawyer, who I must say is really a savage from the stuff that I've read about her, also accused the Kardashians of obviously gaslighting Chyna. During the lawyer's closing statements, she told the jury to use their common sense. Like, how bold can you be, girl? That is brave as fuck. The lawyer also stated that basically Chyna would still have her show and be on TV if not for the actions of the Kardashian family, which in my opinion that statement is right to the point and what the whole trial is about. The Kardashian Jenner lawyer retorted that and said that Chyna damaged her own reputation. I do think that it's interesting that Chyna seems to want so badly for that show to not have been cancelled when the relationship between her and Rob was like fully over anyway. Like, that show literally literally could not even exist at all anyways, because the couple doesn't exist. So like she could try for a new show, like the China show or something, because it's just her now. I don't know, I just do feel like it might be a cash grab type of situation, but I would love to see your guys' thoughts on this case in the comment section down below. We've been talking about the Johnny and Amber case so much, I feel like we could talk about this a little bit more too. And in some other news, when the Island boys aren't making out with each other, they are perfecting their boxing technique. Side note, I would rather have both of them literally punch me in the face numerous times than to ever have to see that four-way kiss again. Bryce announced that the Island boys finally accepted his offer for a fight, and he says that the entire time that they've been lightly beefing back and forth has been a quote strategic plan to get them in the ring.
2v1, they fell right into my trap. The Island boys are fucked. They're fucking fucked!
Bryce reckons that the twins finally caved and accepted the fight because they are slipping into irrelevancy and he can revive their career for them. No news yet on exactly when this fight will be, but we will make sure to keep you updated on that, as I think it'll be entertaining to say the least. And just one more catch up for you on this week's headlines. We talked briefly about A$AP Rocky's arrest earlier this week when he landed back in LA from Barbados, and there is just a couple new bits of news on that. Currently, the DA has not decided if they're moving forward with any charges against A$AP Rocky, but they apparently currently have some video evidence that is being reviewed, and it's rumored that it might not be looking too good. No confirmation on what the footage is just yet, but in more sort of good news for A$AP, while tons of guns were seized from his home, they were all legally registered and good to go, and what's more, not one of them matched the weapon that was used during the shooting in question. So that's good news for him. And we'll see what happens with that video evidence, but for now, that is going to be it for today's video, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell as we do post new videos every single day. Also, follow for some more math tips. And here's my bleach.